Hello, dear friends. Ron Giles is perhaps the most knowledgeable about the new QFS quantum financial system because he participated in its creation several years ago. It was talked about also by Dr. Michael Salla in his latest update. Please listen to the prophecies at the end of the piece. Opinion piece. Misinformation about QFS. It will not be based on cryptocurrencies. It will use digital gold certificates. QFS will not be before the reset. Order will be restart, QFS and revaluation. The coalition will not keep dates, rates or appointments. No one will know what the revaluation has started. QFS will be launched via the Starlink system, but the Starlink system will be discarded over time. Divine quantum consciousness is fifth dimensional. The coalition chooses SIM bonds because they are worthless. The rumors that are published do not come from the coalition. Earth is the crown jewel of the Creator's energy. The goal is not to get rich people, but to create humanitarian projects. Let's start. This information is being spread from normally reputable sources that the QFS quantum financial system would use a cryptocurrency-based method for currency. This information is inaccurate. Very few people actually understand the QFS, but many are attending it with limited knowledge. The new system was born to replace the corrupt fiat money method and would be backed by gold, silver and other precious metals. It would be linked to a quantum supercomputer operating through Elon Musk's Starlink satellite system and the Space Command in a highly complex and integrated global financial system. The QFS appears to have been developed with outside help, as the following explanation implies. The QFS has been heavily promoted by many popular internet sources such as Simon Bax, with over 650,000 followers on YouTube, and by his worldwide Connecting Consciousness community. The quantum financial system QFS is a megalithic financial structure that the heavens have given humankind. I call it a megalith because it is the most advanced financial system anyone can imagine. This technology has no equal on Earth today. It is a magnificent system designed to take on the magnitude of accounting needed to balance every financial transaction in the world in real time. The QFS would be housed in a large computer called Mega Quantum Consciousness, OZ. This quantum consciousness would be the divine consciousness that is available for us to use in this third dimension. The tools it brings would be necessary for us to set the beginning of the golden age of humankind. The QFS would be a general ledger accounting system made up of individual accounts. The QFS would be just one of many applications that are already ready for use. Financial restart. Ron Giles' connection to the coalition doesn't allow him to talk on behalf of it, but all documents he publishes to empower benefactors have been approved by the coalition as to accuracy and timing of information. He is not under a confidentiality agreement. It only works for the common good in harmony with the alliance. It is not and will not be part of the quantum system to use cryptocurrencies, nor the use of cryptocurrency to transfer funds. The QFS uses digital gold certificates that represent real currencies, not cryptocurrencies, and that are backed by real gold, not assets that could disappear and be sold without scruples. Endless audits to ensure that all assets are secure would be useless. The global financial reset would reset all currencies to the same value once instituted. This means that the dollar would have the same value as a pound sterling. This would be necessary because fluctuations in value in existing currencies from one to another wouldn't be calculated when paying for purchases from one country to another. In addition, the reset would come before the revaluation of currencies begins. All of this should be in place before the currency revaluation is released. And until everything is in place, there will be no activation of the revaluation or the QFS. In other words, the global financial reset would be a harbinger that currency revaluation would be ready to begin. It's time for the intelligence providers to tell their source of information. If it is not from the coalition, say so clearly. Those who get their information from the coalition should start clarifying their information beforehand by saying what the source of information is and whether it is approved for publication. False rumors. Rumors that are published do not come from the coalition. Bond redemption has a very complex legal process that requires a lot of documentation. It will not be as simple as going to a bank window with a bond and asking for it to be paid to us. Those who are familiar with the subject have put themselves in the hands of specialized law firms in Zurich, Switzerland. If this legal process is not followed, I think it would be impossible to collect the bonds. Most of the supposed Zimbabwe bonds sold on the internet would be false, and if they were not false, they would be stolen. This is why it is essential to prove the legal traceability of the voucher through a series of notarized documents before being able to redeem it when the time comes. Unless it is for a military deception, the coalition will never give out dates, rates or other redemption appointment information before it is released. The coalition would contact humanitarian activists through a yet unknown channels. Not bidded humanitarian will be left out, and unless you are a bidded humanitarian, no one will know that revaluation has begun because of a confidentiality agreement. Redemption. So, if anyone gets a rate or a date, you are advised to ignore it because it is not coming from the coalition, unless you want to believe the military shenanigans that are meant for the dark side, not for the humanitarians. By the way, have you ever wondered why the coalition chose the defunct zinc bomb series for the swaps? The reason is that there will be no intrinsic value left. They would be worthless. So they are going to pay $11 million for 100 trillion Zimbabwe bills. Which central banker would give us 11 million for a worthless defunct currency that has no resale value? Give us the name of a banker who would do that. No bank is going to swap a worthless defunct currency for $11 million. These gurus have created a big scam to hide what they are doing. If you are a humanitarian, don't let other people do your thinking for you. Connect your own dots on this issue. They don't want you to have your humanitarian funds. They are not on your side, on our side. Question everything a reset guru says. The announcement. There is a transition that the QFS will go through in which 3D creations could be used to give public credibility to the transition into the third dimension. What does this mean? The Starlink satellite system is based on a 3D creation using satellite technology. This use gives a plausible technology that people can believe in. It gives a logical third-dimensional explanation on how the QFS would be implemented. But the goal of launching it would be to achieve fifth-dimensional purity thought through, I repeat it. The goal of launching it would be to achieve fifth-dimensional purity through divine quantum consciousness, and divine quantum consciousness will prevail. Not everyone believes in divine consciousness, so they use three-dimensional material in the transition in order to give credibility to the new system. The Starlink system will eventually be discarded without fanfare or announcement. It will only be used in the transition for credibility reasons. I trust in the Divine Coalition's plan that it will be perfect for our use as we create the golden age of humankind. Galactic community. Earth is the crown jewel of the Creator's energy. Left to ourselves without interference, we humans would have created the experience of a fully functioning galactic community like the Kingdom of God or the Garden of Eden. If we, as children of God, respond to our spiritual guidance and act in harmony with the coalition, we will fulfill our destiny as galactic citizens and indeed create the fulfillment destined for us as a human species along with our galactic brothers and sisters. We are the only ones who can fulfill this calling. That's why the many star nations of the galaxy are here cheering us on. They know that winning this war is not just for Earth but for the entire galaxy. This is the perspective of the coalition and the reason we are wanted and loved beyond imagination by our galactic brothers and sisters. We are the answers to their prayers. They know our creative power and that we will use it for the betterment of all creation. That is who we are. There are no restrictions within the universal laws as the war is waged for our victory. If only we could get this perspective on what is happening, we might begin to know how valuable we humanitarians are and how much the galaxy is rooting for us to win. Indeed, it is hard to believe that this is true, especially the way we have been treated by our Supreme Dark Overlords, but it is true. We are of extreme courage, and that goes for every individual humanitarian being, awakened or not. The human species is the only one created in the image and likeness of the Source who is our Creator. An angle will come. There are a lot of funds available for us to do our work. These funds should not be given to the masses, for they couldn't handle it and would destroy civilization as we know it. If given to the people, governments would tax us and ultimately return us to the corruption that exists now. Instead, the coalition is using humanitarians to receive these large amounts of money with a charge to serve humankind and not seek to make money from the funds given to us. Our job is to use the funds within our community. We will build roads, bridges, structures, recreational facilities, etc. And we will do so without profit. This keeps the government from taxing us, and we will build the things we can build without their interference or corruption. Decree your acceptance in your private moments with God as your Father. Allow His divine power to settle on your shoulders as you accept this sacred calling. You are the sovereign humanitarian presenting yourself to the healing process of this earth and beyond. Then, if you wish, let this be true for you. Then decree it to be so. God will send you an angel as a new friend. Prophecy. Prophecy from the last message posted by Dr. Michael Salla. Oona gives an important timeline of when all these changes will occur. She said, first, in 2023, all this will be a memory and we will celebrate together. Second one, that means that all these major events will occur in 2022 as a result of the surrender and the exit of the elite through the Antarctic portal. Third, while it will take a few months yet to deal with the remaining minions who are trying to hold on to power by imposing unpopular policies, which will ultimately bring about their downfall. Fourth, finally, Oona says that the various galactic organizations that helped the coalition liberate the planet will be rebuilt, and our graduation into the galactic community will be complete. Message from Sirius. Sirius Tolkien channeling of Wednesday, December 15th. First one. Do not worry. You are protected and assisted within the divine plan. Second one. High possibility that before the end of 2021, the news of the existence of other extraterrestrial races alive on other planets will be disclosed. Third one. When it happens, there will be the appearance of lights in the sky as if to say, we are here. Fourth, there is an 80% probability that banks and ATMs will be closed for a couple of months around February or March. Fifth, sighting of the planet Nibiru in our skies around the same months as the bank closings. Sixth, this story will be over in about 6 months, around May, since Agenda 2030 will not be implemented. Seventh, a known judge is going to appear who is going to have to do with the procedure of this awakening of humankind. Eighth, you are going to see a scientific galactic agreement to stop this in the little ones. And that's all for today. Thanks a lot, dear friends.